Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is May 15th, 2021. Let's talk about Kobe Bryant's induction into the Basketball Hall of Fame. And we're going to talk about what the Lakers did today. They became 41-30 on the day that Kobe Bryant gets inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. 41-30. The numbers that connect to Kobe Bryant. Because in Gematria, Kobe Bryant equals 113 and 41. And of course, 113 is the 30th prime number. So on the day that he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Lakers become 41-30. And LeBron James, he scores 24 points and has 8 assists on the day that Kobe gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. 24-8. I mean, for these things to happen over and over and over again and people still not catching on. So before we start, just want to make sure that the sound is good, and we're going to talk about everything that we noticed today. I'm a little disappointed because the Knicks, they didn't fall to 39-33 like we thought they would, because New York is 39-33, but the Brooklyn Nets did pick up their 47th win today. And again, if I'm telling people, if they win tomorrow, they're going to get to 48. If they get to 48 wins, and they can possibly win the championship by winning 16 games, they will get to that magic number of 64. If that happens, I will be, playing it safe. Do not put too much money down on the Lakers. That's all I'm saying. So the Lakers scored 122 points today. They defeated the Indiana Pacers, and Mr. LeBron James, like I said, scored 24 and had 8 assists on the day that Kobe Bryant gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. And of course, those are the numbers that Kobe Bryant used to wear as a player, 24 and 8, right? The Lakers also picked up their 41st win of the season, and that was a huge number with Kobe Bryant. If you read my book, I talk all about the number 41. I have an entire chapter literally talking about that number. It's like 2 pages long. How he died at the age of 41. How his name Kobe Bryant equals 41. How the helicopter that he was in supposedly crashed 41 minutes after takeoff. And this is all facts. Actually, I'm gonna go through all the 41 tributes that they did with Kobe Bryant's death, in case anybody didn't watch that video that I put out on the day that he died. Okay, so let's just talk about all the 41s first, right? Let's first understand, why did the Lakers pick up their 41st win today on a day that it's so special to Kobe Bryant, on the Boule's birthday on May 15th. So the day that he scored 81 points, remember, against the Raptors, he had this magical game. He scored 81 versus Jalen Rose and the Toronto Raptors. Supposedly Jalen Rose couldn't guard him. He was just unstoppable. He had 81. That day, the day of this game was January 22nd, like how the Lakers today won with 122 points. That's a special number to Kobe Bryant as well, because I think his grandfather either died or was born on January 22nd. So that's always been a big number with Kobe Bryant, 122. And on 122, the Lakers win with 122 points. And Kobe had 81 points, which means his teammates, they scored 41 points, right? Because 41 plus 81 equals 122. And again, this game was played on January 22nd. Just like how today the Lakers win with 122 points. Because that's a big number with Kobe Bryant. You can actually look this up. Kobe Bryant's grandfather, I don't have his, I should have had those notes available. But you can actually just do a Google search. Who is Kobe Bryant's grandfather? His grandfather, he either died on that day or was born on that day. And, that's why that day was chosen for him to have a special game, January 22nd. So he didn't have a big game on that day for no reason. That's a special day to Kobe Bryant. So that day, his teammates have 41. He scores 81, right? So there goes that 41 again. His last game came against the Utah Jazz. And then in this game, notice they took him out the game with 4.1 seconds left on the clock. Like the number 41. And in this game, he had 60. The Lakers had 101, which means his teammates also have 41 points. And there was a lot of 41s in his last game. The player Trey Lyles, who played for the Utah Jazz at the time, he used to wear the number 41 as a player. You see it here. He actually took the last shot of the game. And Kobe Bryant's last field goal came against this player. Notice right here. This was his last field goal with 33 seconds left on the clock. This was his 58th point. So his last field goal came against Mr. Trey Lyles, number 41. So that's another 41 for you, right? I mean, Kobe Bryant ended the game with 60, right? So after this, he had 58, and he shot them 2 free throws and gave him 60 points. And something that I discovered later on was that it only took Kobe Bryant 42 minutes to score 59 points. And, of course, those two numbers have been used throughout black history to shame black people, 42 and 59. Which we'll get into because we're going to talk about how the Lakers can pick up their 42nd win of the season tomorrow. Like I've been saying, I made a video a couple of days ago saying how the Lakers was going to win the last 3 games of the season and finish 42 and 30. And right now they're 41 and 30. So if they win tomorrow, they'll be 42 and 30, like I said in that video. And I guarantee you I'm no psychic. So how did I know that the Lakers were going to win 3 games in a row when they haven't done that all year? The Lakers have sucked all year. But LeBron James just comes back and picks up the 41st win for the Lakers today. Oh my God. It's another 41 for you, right? Okay, so he shot his last field goal versus number 41, right? At the time of his death, the commissioner of the NBA was Adam Silver. Adam Silver equals 41 in gematria. And we talked about how, rappers, there was a lot of rappers who dedicated songs to Kobe Bryant. The rapper Chief Keef, he had this song called Kobe, and it was 4 minutes and 1 second long, and his name Chief Keef equals 41. Funny because notice it says Little Reese here. If you read my book, I talk about how rappers in 2020 they was getting killed in connection to Kobe Bryant. A lot of rappers went out in connection to Kobe Bryant. Remember Pop Smoke, who died on February 19th? He died 24 days after Kobe. And again, that's the number that Kobe Bryant used to wear. Today, on the day that Kobe Bryant gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, this rapper here, Little Reese, he gets shot in the head. And I just knew, I knew it. I said a rapper has to go out today because today Kobe Bryant gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. And we've seen those patterns all year. If you read my book, that's all I'll talk about. How all the rappers that I've discussed in my book, how they all have a connection to Kobe Bryant, including Pop Smoke, Little Marlo, who died 38 weeks after Kobe, and so on. But notice here, this rapper, Little Reese, he was shot in the head today. I actually have the video of the shooting. It looks hella fake, but he did a good job. He did a good acting job, I'll tell you that much. So rapper Little Reese grates in the eye during shooting, picks up bloody aftermath. So this all happens on the day that Kobe Bryant gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. And this is a pattern that I've been documenting since last year. A lot of rappers went out in connection to Kobe, which I think I'll talk about it in case anybody hasn't paid the $5 for my book. Kobe Bryant, he died in L.A. L.A. stands for Los Angeles. L.A. is 41. And again, the name Kobe Bryant is 41. And that's why that number is so important to Kobe Bryant. His name is 41. Right? He died a week before the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is 41. Right? The Chiefs won the Super Bowl that year. Chiefs is 41. The way you write out L.A. in the envelope is Los Angeles CA. Los Angeles CA is 41. I also learned that he averaged 4.1 defensive rebounds for his career. He also died 41 days before Shaq's birthday. Shaq was born on March 6th. From January 26th to March 6th is 41 days. So Mr. 41, Kobe Bryant, dies 41 days before Shaq's birthday. He also died on Vince Carter's birthday. And Vince Carter, his name equals 179, the 41st prime. So look at that, right? Vince Carter born on January 26th. He actually died on Vince Carter's 42nd birthday, right? At 42 again. I could be wrong about that. He was born in 77. Yeah, he died on his 42nd birthday. Just want to make sure because there's a lot of people that say, "Oh, I don't want people." I'm not giving you guys any reason to thumb down this video. You guys love to troll, and this information is too valuable. I'm not giving you guys a chance. So it was actually his 43rd birthday, like the post says. So he died on Vince Carter's 43rd birthday. And the name Vince Carter equals 179, the 41st prime number, another 41. Kobe Bryant, he was coached by Phil Jackson, who also coached Michael Jordan. Phil Jackson equals 179 as well, the 41st prime. West equals 41, right? He died in the West Coast. He played for the Western Conference. And again, a lot of rappers dedicated songs to Kobe Bryant. Lil Wayne was another rapper who had a song called Kobe Bryant. This song was released on June 6, 2009, a day with 41 numerology. The Lakers, they were known for running the triangle offense. Triangles 41. Kobe Bryant released a book, Dear Basketball equals 41. This book actually came out on the 113th day of the year as well. Like how Kobe Bryant equals 113 and 41. But this is what the reporting said the day of the crash. Said that the helicopter took off from John Wayne Airport in Orange County at 9:06 a.m. And then it says that the crash happened at 9:47. So from 9:06 to 9:47 is exactly how much minutes? It's 41 minutes. And then it happened on the 4200 block. And not 42 again, right? So he crashed 41 minutes after takeoff. King is 41, right? He died a day after LeBron James surpassed him on the all-time scoring list. LeBron James actually did it in Philadelphia for another coincidence. Scoring the 54th point for the Lakers. And Kobe Bean Bryant equals 54. The day of the Kobe Bryant death, it was actually the same day as the Grammys. And Miss Alicia Keys had a special performance for Kobe Bryant. And notice the name Alicia Keys is 41 as well. Kobe Bryant's father was drafted by the Golden State Warriors. Golden State is 41. Mr. Joe Bryant, here it is. Drafted in 1975 by the Golden State Warriors. Yep, 1975. Kobe Bryant's career ended in 2006, which was 41 years after his father was drafted. Isn't that remarkable? Because Kobe Bryant, he wasn't even born in 1975. He wasn't born yet. But yeah, they already had his life scripted out. Remarkable stuff. The number 14 sums to 41. And I always forget why I put this 14 up here. But this 14 is definitely relevant. I'll come back to it once I remember. Kobe Bryant also, I think he died 41 days after Joanne Mueller's birthday. That was the owner of the Lakers at the time. She died on December 16th. And from December 16th to January 26th is 41 days. Exactly. There it is. 41 days after her birthday. The Lakers owner's death. Joanne. Pope Francis was born a day after the Joanne Mueller's date of death. And if you include the end date, it's also 41 days. So 41 days after the Pope's birthday and 41 days after Joanne Buss's death date. A lot of 41s. The person that was blamed for the crash was the pilot Aris Obanya, a name that sums to 41. And I found this very interesting that LeBron James has a career high against. He has scored a career high of 41 points versus the Lakers and 41 points against the Philadelphia 76ers. The two teams connected to Kobe Bryant, right? Kobe Bryant's from Philly, and he played most of his career for the Lakers. And this will never change because LeBron James is not going to change teams anymore. And he's not going to play against the Lakers because he's a current Laker. So LeBron James' career high against the Lakers is 41 points. At the time of Kobe Bryant's death, his wife, Vanessa Bryant, was following 401 people on Instagram. What are the odds? Kobe Bryant also died 243 days after Independence Day on July 4th, 1776. And the name Kobe Bean Bryant suit 43. And USA equals 41. That's how you could bring up the 41. USA is 41, and he died 243 days after the nation's Independence Day. And there's a lot more. I mean, you can visit my blog. I don't want to go through all this stuff. But yeah, this is the moment that LeBron James surpassed Kobe Bryant, and then he stepped on the snake. Like, Kobe's nickname is Black Mamba, which is a snake. Scored the 54th point for the Lakers. And notice the 76ers had 74 points. And this was the 74th NBA season. All right, nobody had a mask on yet. Coronavirus existed at this time, but yet all these people was piled up together. Coronavirus existed because supposedly the first case of coronavirus was on January 21st out of Washington, but yet none of these people had coronavirus yet. People only started catching coronavirus after March 11th. Oh, man. Yeah, so there's a lot of more. Yeah, 41 is also the 13th prime. His daughter was 13 years old, and there's a lot more. He was also the 13th pick, right? 41 or 13th prime. He was the 13th pick in the first round, like 113. Right? Kobe Bryant 113. And 113 is the 30th prime, right? That's why the Lakers are 41 and 30 today. Because Kobe Bryant is 41 and 113. And 113 is the 30th prime number. Right? So that's why you see it up here. They're 41 and 30. Now, I expect the Lakers to become 42 and 30. And I think I spoke about that not too long ago. So, because those two numbers, they love to use it to shame black people. 42 and 30. Notice here the N-word is 42 and 30. Slavery is 42 and 30. The name Martin is 42 and 30. Malcolm X is also 42 and 30. Think about those people in black history. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. The name LeBron James is also 42. So how perfect for the Lakers to end the season with 42 wins. All right, LeBron is 30. The name LeBron is 30. And Lakers is 42. And something I spoke about the day I made this video was how LeBron James, not only was he born on the day with 42 numerology, right, December 30, 12 plus 30 is 42, but he was also born on the 30th of the month, 42 weeks after Anthony Davis, who was born on March 11th. From March 11th, from Anthony Davis' birthday to LeBron James' birthday is exactly 42 weeks apart. And also, one of the things that I've been talking about is how if the Nets tomorrow, if they win and pick up that 48th win of the season, I'm telling you, they can get to 64 wins. And I'm just noticing here, something that I forgot to document, that Anthony Davis was born on 3/11, the 64th prime. And the name Anthony Davis is also 64. So there's a lot of 64s. You guys, I don't know why you guys are just focusing on the 5'6" and the 56 with LeBron. I mean, there's another narrative out there that you guys should be paying attention to. There's a reason why the target score at the All-Star game was set to 170. Brooklyn Nets is 170. Brooklyn Nets is also 64. If they win the championship, they will end the year with 64 wins. Because 48 plus 16 playoff games equals 64. And again, James Harden is 64. Blake Griffin is 64. And, of course, the NBA is 64. And like I said, Anthony Davis, who was born on 3/11, the 64th prime, his name is also 64. So, and not that Anthony Davis obviously doesn't play for the Brooklyn Nets, but, something can happen to Anthony Davis during the playoffs where it disables him from participating, like an injury or a suspension, something. Because that's how it is every year. But his name is also 64. And also the name Steve. Like Steve Nash, the head coach of the Lakers, of the Nets. Steve is also 64. That's a lot of 64s. So let's see. Let's hope that the Brooklyn Nets lose tomorrow. Because that way this riddle here is out the window. If they don't get to 48 wins. But they do have 47 right now. But they could be telling something with that. But I really think they're not gonna end the season with 47. I think they're gonna get to that 48. So you saw most of the 41s with Kobe Bryant. That's a big number with Kobe Bryant. So what are the odds? Ask yourself this. Those of you who have doubts. What are the odds that on the day of his Hall of Fame induction, Kobe Bryant's, the Lakers become 41 and 30 when the name Kobe Bryant equals 113 and 41? That shows you that the only way that's possible, if you have to rig all 71 games for that to happen. And then for that same day, Mr. LeBron James to have 24 points and 8 assists. The numbers that Kobe Bryant used to wear as a player. And like I said, I'm not a psychic. How did I know? Well, actually, I didn't discuss it on live, but I just knew a rapper was going to go out today. Because this has been happening all year. Let's review. Let's look at all the rappers that have died in connection to Kobe Bryant. So Pop Smoke died 24 days after Mr. And then in the video, he has a music video where there's a helicopter crash. This video is called Christopher Walking. But and then the name Bashar Jackson is 41. Right? Rappers connected to Kobe Bryant. The day he died, they supposedly put him inside this ambulance. And look at the number that was displaying on the door. They had the 41 right on the door. They was putting Bashar Jackson in this vehicle. Bashar Jackson 41. Brooklyn is 41. And that's another 41. Brooklyn. And LA is 41. Pop Smoke died in LA. Right? And robbery is 41. Supposed to be somebody who was trying to rob him. And you know what they said lately about Pop Smoke? They said that it was a 15-year-old that really killed him. A 15-year-old? Really? But notice here, right? So, and he also died 41 days after March 31st, which was Christopher Walken's birthday, the actor. And the song was Christopher Walken, where he had the helicopter crash at. But notice here, right? From January 26th, that's the day that Kobe Bryant died, to February 19th, the day that Pop Smoke died. 24 days apart. Like how LeBron had 24 today, and Kobe brought that number as a player. But notice Christopher Walken born on March 31st. And Pop Smoke died 41 days after his birthday. And he had that song Christopher Walking. Another 41. And then he had the interview also with Angie Martinez. Right, Angie Martinez. And then died 41 days after her birthday. She was born on January 9th. Her birthday was 41 days before his death. I mean, that's a lot of 41s. So that's one rapper, right? And then we had Little Marlo, who didn't die in connection to the number 41, but he did die 38 weeks after Kobe. And that's a big number with rappers, right? Because rappers 38, death is 38, murder is 38, killing is 38, R.I.P. is 38. And then he also died 38 weeks before Quavo's birthday. And he was connected to the music label Quality Control. And then died 24 days after the other member of that group. And 157 days after the other member of the Migos. And Kobe Bryant's 157. I mean, come on. This is just so obvious. But, where's the screenshot? So here it is. So, he actually died 24 weeks after Kobe. Is this right? Look what I wrote up here. Most rappers who have died this year have been connected to Kobe Bryant, who died on January 26th. So I think he died 24 weeks instead of 38. So let me just make sure he died on July 11th. Yes, he did. Okay, so I made a mistake. He didn't die 38 weeks after Kobe. He actually died 24 weeks after Kobe's death. Another 24. This is the 38 that I was talking about, though. Quavo, who was born on 4/2, right? And then, there's a lot more. There was actually a rapper named. Kobe. Man, I forgot. It's just so many. But there was a rapper that had the same name as Kobe, and he died on December 6th, on 1/26. I think it was rapper Kobe the Blue something. Oh, man. Kobe Blue Benji Kobe. There it is. So this rapper, Louisiana rapper, Blue Benji Kobe, right? Look at the initials of his name. BBK. And what is Kobe Bryant's initials? KBB. Kobe Bean Bryant. So he has the same initials as Kobe Bryant, and then he has the name Kobe in his name. It says here that he was shot and killed in broad daylight, according to several confirmed reports. The Shreveport rapper Blue Benji Kobe was killed this week on December 6th on 126, like how Kobe Bryant died on 126. And look how old he was. He was 24 years old. It doesn't get more. It doesn't get more clear cut than this. Actually, it does. Pop Smoke and Little Marlo, but. And you know what? I forgot to put this rapper in my book. This is a great example right here. I'll probably, when I get the physical copy, Blue Benji Kobe will definitely be in there. But isn't that something? He was 24 years old and he died on 12/6. The guy named Kobe. And it's a lot more. I mean, this guy died 24 weeks. Pop Smoke died 24 days. And then today, on the day that Kobe Bryant gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, we get Little Reese. And Little Reese is not dead yet. So let's wait till he passes away. If he does. I hope he doesn't. And let's see if we find any Kobe connections to his name. He does have that 131 in his name. That's the championship number. Today is actually 129 days after his birthday, Little Reese. So if he dies a couple of days from now, he'll die 131 days after his birthday. So they claim that he's not in critical condition, so hopefully he survives. I do have the video here, but I'm not going to play it in the live stream. If you go to my blog, all the way at the bottom, I left the link so we can watch the graphic video. But what I documented about Little Reese was, if you read the report, they keep talking about how he's 28. They keep bringing that up, right? Reese is only 28. Reese is only 28. Reese is only 28. The entire article is talking about how he's 28 years old. And his surname, Taylor. He was born... What was this guy's name? I'll look it up. I think Tavares Taylor or something like that. Yeah, so his name is Tavares Lamont Taylor. And his surname is 28. Like the word kill, right? And shooting is 107 to 28 prime. So I'm wondering, is this the reason they keep talking? Look at this paragraph here. Like we said, Reese is 28, right? Has confirmed that the 28-year-old, right? And the 28-year-old, they keep saying that the whole article. They keep talking about how he's 28. I mean, how many times do you have to remind us that he's 28? But yeah, his name is 28. The word kill is 28. Shooting is 107 to 28 prime. And he was connected to King Vaughn, Mr. 64 again. After the Nets win, if they do win tomorrow, I'll come back and talk about all the 64s with the Nets. Because King Vaughn is connected to those 64s because he was a rapper that died last year. He had an album dedicated to LeBron James, titled LeVon James. And from his death to the start of the NBA Finals is 35 weeks. And the name of the album, LeVon James, is 35. King James is 35. But he died on November 6th, which is the 311th day of the year, the 64th prime. And from his death to the shooting of Little Reese is 190 days. And King Vaughn was born Davon Bennett, a name that also sums to 64 in Gematria. But his name also sums to 190 in the reverse alphabetic order. And it's been 190 days since his death. So this does seem like another ritual by the numbers. Even though if you watch the video, it looks real. It looks very real. But remember what DMX said. Believe half of what you see. So just because you see blood, that doesn't really mean that it's real blood, Think about what they do in Hollywood. But let's see what happens with this rapper, and then I'll talk about it the day that, if anything else happens to him. Right now, he's being treated at the hospital for the injuries. Something else I wanted to discuss, Michael Jordan. I always wonder about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, if they are like related or somehow, because have you seen two basketball players more alike than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant? They're the same height, they play the same. I just wonder about these two. This could be a father and son here. I mean, look at them. They really look like identical, like twin brothers. For those of you who love to believe in coincidences, I guess all the stuff that I've shown is not enough. But I want you guys to notice this. This was an article from last year. 19-year-old Kobe Bryant and 35-year-old Michael Jordan combined for 69 points 23 years ago. This came out on February 26th, a month after Kobe Bryant's death. And then looks like on that day, 19-year-old Zion Williamson and 35-year-old LeBron James also combined for 69 points. Right, so Kobe was 19 and Jordan was 35 when this happened, when they both had 69. And then Zion was 19 and LeBron was 35 when they both combined for 69. That right there is remarkable. But what's even more remarkable than that is the fact how Michael Jordan was born February 17th and Kobe on 8/23. Look how old Michael Jordan was when Kobe was born. He was 5,667 days old. And look how old LeBron James was when Zion Williamson was born. Right, Zion Williamson born July 6th, LeBron 12/30, 1984 and 2000. LeBron James was also 5,667 days old. What are the odds? And these pairs, they have the same accomplishment, having 69 points on the same day, just 23 years apart from when Kobe and Jordan did it. I mean, man, for you to believe that this is a coincidence, you gotta be like the dumbest of the dumb. For you to believe that it's a coincidence that Kobe died 41 minutes after takeoff, and then the pilot's name is 41. For you to believe that's a coincidence, because I used to explain that to people. You know what they'll say? Yeah, man, you shouldn't be talking about Kobe, man. It's unfortunate, man. His body blew up. You shouldn't be talking about people's death on the internet. I'm not talking about anybody's death because nobody died that day. Oh, Lord. But yeah, the Lakers win with 122 points. And again, today's the Boule's birthday, right? And Kobe Bryant's death was all connected to the Boule. But, and can't forget about this, right? He gets inducted into the Hall of Fame on the 135th day of the year, and his name is 135. It's also 68 weeks after his death, and basketball is 68. And yeah, back to Kobe and Jordan. The reason I really think that there's a deeper connection with them two is, notice the name Jordan. Not only is it 113 just like Kobe Bryant, but notice it's 238, just like how Kobe was born on August 23rd. Right, Michael Jordan 113, Kobe Bryant 113. Of course, they have to code the number 59 and 76 in Michael Jordan, right? Because Negro is 59 and 76. Slave as well. This is why tomorrow the Lakers might end the season 42 and 30. Because the N word is 42 and 30, just like slavery. Just got to bring this home, because I think this is what this whole season is about. Because again, if the Nets win tomorrow and get to 48, I think this whole finals is about Jackie Robinson, to be honest. Because if the NBA finals is Brooklyn versus LA, just think about how Jackie Robinson played for the Brooklyn Dodgers and then ended up turning into the LA Dodgers, right? The Los Angeles Dodgers. So the NBA finals could be Brooklyn versus LA. A tribute to Jackie Robinson, number 6, whose name is 64 and water number 42. Like how the Lakers can end their season with 42 wins. So I think that's what this whole NBA Finals is about. A tribute to Jackie Robinson. Because they did a tribute to Jackie Robinson in the last World Series when the Dodgers won, right? They won over the Tampa Bay Rays 4-2. So we've seen a lot of tributes with Jackie Robinson in sports. And I definitely think that this year is another tribute to Jackie Robinson. But I don't want to get ahead of myself because the Nets still have one more game left in their season. And that game will be played tomorrow night. So they're playing the Cavaliers. So let's see. And the Lakers are playing the Pelicans. Speaking of Zion Williamson, right? So, like I said, I'm a little disappointed the Knicks didn't finish 39 and 33 because that would have been a big parlay today. But tomorrow, I like the Lakers and I like the Nets to come through and pick up number 48 and number 42. So, hopefully, you guys can recover from any losses today. The Charlotte Hornets really looked good. They even went to overtime. Looks like they're gonna end their season 33 and 39. One of these two teams are. Oh, the Knicks. But yeah. So. Oh man. Yeah, this stuff is so blatant. It is. But it's like it's like people don't want to hear this stuff. There's a rapper named Blue Benji Kobe. Died on December 6th. He was 24 years old. He said the Hornets game gave him a great hit. I mean, that was a tight game. How does the Knicks not end the season 39 and 33? Oh my gosh. Jesus Christ. Yeah, because that would have been a huge parlay. But it is what it is. We'll get them tomorrow. I'm pretty confident that the Lakers end 42 and 30. I mean, come on. Yeah, speaking of Zion, the Lakers end their season against Zion. I guess, I don't like getting into stuff that I can't prove, but you imagine if Zion is LeBron James' son, and then, because, I mean, once you're 15, because LeBron was 15 years old when Zion was born. Once you're 15, you can technically produce semen and have a child. And that's how old Michael Jordan would have been if he is Kobe's father, right? He would have been 15 when he had him. I mean, 15 is an old enough to have a baby. I know a lot of 15-year-olds with kids, so let me find. See if I can pull that up again. I mean, just think about Zion Williams' build. He's built just like LeBron James. Just like Kobe's built just like LeBron, like Michael Jordan. And I can't prove any of this. That's why I don't talk about stuff like this. Because this is like a lot of people on the internet do stuff like this. Like, oh, this is really a woman. Michael Jordan was really born on a woman. I don't do stuff like that. But I'm just saying, like, these two players, they are definitely like identical. And then just notice the numbers, right? Kobe would have number 8. LeBron, that's another 823, like Kobe Bryant's birthday. All right, and Michael Jordan's 238. So they have a lot of things in common. I just wonder. And ask yourself, why isn't Jelly Bean, who is supposed to be Kobe Bryant's real father, why wasn't he at the Hall of Fame induction? Why wasn't he at the Kobe Bryant Memorial? But you know who else? Who was there? Michael Jordan. But yeah, we didn't see anything. We didn't see Jelly Bean anywhere. Maybe because that's not really daddy. No, the Knicks can't go 39 and 33 every year because every year is not a 72-game season. This is the first year that they have a 72-game season. NBA is usually 82 games. You dummy. This is why you're a dummy. The NBA is usually an 82-game schedule. That's what, but because of the coronavirus, they reduced it into a 72 games. So being that this year was the first 72 game season, how appropriate would it have been for the Knicks to start off 39-33? It's not going to happen every year, you dummy. Every year is not going to be a 72 game season. Who knows if next year is going to be going back to the normal schedule, 82 game season. These people are just, oh my gosh. So many dumb people in the world, man. Somebody said Jelly Bean didn't sell out. What? Oh, shut up. Guys is dumb. Yeah, I'm gonna end it there. I'm not letting nobody ruin my Sunday. Whatever, man. Go get a vaccine and some donuts from Krispy Kreme. You guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday.